Welcome back, design students. Let's continue working on our progressive walk cycle. So what we have right now is an infinite loop here, and he will continue walking for as many frames as we want him to. Doesn't matter how many we put in the timeline, and that is because, if you remember, we used the curve editor to create the in-out animations for our characters controllers. We created this infinite loop. So now what we need to do is make a move forward. And to do that, we're going to use the global controller. So if you have it hidden, open up the controls layer and unhide the global controller. And then right-click on the timeline and go back to 33 frames. And then take your playhead and put it at the beginning. Select the global controller. Go to Set Key and click the big plus sign to set a keyframe for the global controller. And then let's take the time slider and move it forward to where we have the passing phase of our walk, which would be right here. And this is where the body actually moves forward when the foot is planted. So let's move that global controller forward a little bit and set a key. So that's what you should have. Now, to make sure that the feet don't slide, and the feet will slide if the controller is moving too fast or too slow, we need to make sure it's moving exactly the right speed. Go to the left viewport and go back to the beginning. And then let's turn off Set Key. And we're going to create a reference box right here around our foot so that we can work out the timing of the forward motion of the global controller. We're going to use that as a reference. So go to the Create tab and find Box and create a box that's about the same size as the foot. And then we're going to go to the top viewport, take this box and move it on the other side of the foot controller so that we can see the foot controller when we go back to the left viewport. Now let's go back to the left viewport, and now we need to adjust the size of this reference box so that it encompasses the whole foot controller and fits it exactly. So let's right-click and convert it to an editable poly. Go to vertex mode and grab these two vertices and shorten it or lengthen it as necessary so that it encompasses this whole foot controller. And then let's select the global controller and turn on Auto Key and go forward to that frame where we had moved it forward. Now notice that the foot controller is outside the box. So what we need to do is move it so that it's inside the box. So now when he plants his foot, he will move forward the correct distance. Now when you think about it, the rolling of our foot from heel to toe and then picking up our other foot is what actually propels us forward when we walk. So that's what we are trying to accomplish here. So now we can set this up by selecting the global controller, and let's right click and open up the curve editor. And here is the motion of the global controller forward. It's moving in the Y direction. Now the first thing is we want this to be constant. We don't want it to accelerate and decelerate like this S-curve shape here. Like this. We want it to be a constant straight line. So select both of these keyframes and find the straight line icon here and then make it a constant acceleration like so. And then we can use the same in-out cycle that we did for the walk cycle to translate the motion of this thing forward. So select both of these keyframes and open up the parameter in-out thing, and we are going to select the same in-out parameters that we did for the other one, and that'll just give us a straight line moving in the Y direction as long as we want. So now if we turn off Auto Key and push play, you will see that the character is moving forward. So let's delete this box, and then let's go to the top viewport and create a surface for him to walk on. Let's get the Create tab and create a plane. Let's go back to the perspective view. Turn on default shading. move this plane forward a little bit. And then let's right click on the play button and enter 500 frames. Doesn't matter. And then push play. And your character will walk forward with no foot sliding. And he will continue to walk forward forever. Doesn't matter how many frames we add here. And this is a progressive walk cycle. And I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. And we'll create some more animations down the road. And I'll see you in the next video.